Moses, it really was Pharaoh Akhenaten. Moses is not the real name. That's the made-up name. Pharaoh Akhenaten, who was ushering in monotheism in Egypt while he was a pharaoh, worshiping Amen-Ra, the great Amen. Amen-Ra was one of these Anunnaki people, said, look, from now on, there'll be no other God but me. That made it into the Bible. When you say thanks, you say thanks to me. You say amen. That made it into the Bible. Teach the people only to worship me, not any of my other relatives. I'm the only one and true God. And he began to do that. Then he made an order to go start defacing all the hieroglyphs and all of these statues around Egypt. That's why the noses and the ears are chipped off. That's why the faces are chipped off everywhere you go. Bodies are chipped away. It wasn't done. The hypothesis on the streets is that it was done because white people back then didn't want black people to know that there were black people in Egypt. That's actually false. The true reality is this was done in ancient times, and it was carried on by Coptic Christians long before Jesus was even born. They were still following that same monotheistic religion, and to them it was offensive to have these faces of all these gods around because it's only one true and only one God, the great Amen.
Do you know where the black invisible sun, the hidden one, is? Hidden right in front of us. There are many theories to consider, and it gets mind-boggling at a point. Most are led to believe it doesn't exist, it's just an esoteric myth. However, if you pay close attention to imagery of the backlit arc of the firmament, it's often visible due to reflection of the sun backwards from early morning ice crystals in the atmosphere or the geoengineering aerosols. You may realize it matches up perfectly with the CMOR thermal images of the black sun octahedron presented by Stephen Christopher. Once I realized the patterns lined up perfectly, it was clear that the black invisible sun and the octahedron are within this arc of firmament. Within that is said to be heaven, and where God resides. Astrotheologically speaking, that is. It is said that many raised in the secret societies are enlightened to this reality. We are shown through symbolism. But one denies its existence in spoken word. It's like they want us to figure it out, without giving it away. Life's a challenge. Are you up for it? This is a big one. I assume some of this is going to look a little scary for those raised in the doctrine of the church, but you have to comprehend the occult symbolism. And realize occult means hidden, it doesn't mean evil. It's hidden from the masses. We were told it was evil to keep us from considering it, like the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. This is the source of power in the universe. And it's neither good nor evil, it just is. What you do with the power determines whether it is good or evil, and that depends on the viewer. If you eat a nice chicken dinner, you view that as a good thing. Meanwhile, for the chicken, it was evil. What is good for one may be evil for another. It depends solely on the observer. It's about perspective. There's just one source of power, and varying degrees. There is no dude in a red jumpsuit with a pitchfork running around doling out the evil. That's an allegorical character to represent the duality of the one power, to help explain it. There's no dude in a white flowing robe flying around saving you from the dude with the pitchfork. Again, it's allegory. Now there are those that claim Lucifer is the deity within the black sun. However, my research considers another angle and direction. I suspect this was meant to hide the good stuff under the bad stuff so nobody will find it. Lucifer equals Venus. Satan equals Saturn. Ra or Jesus equals the sun. Amen, Yahweh, God equals the black invisible sun. The allegorical characters represent the celestial entities and the stories explain their complex movements. The big kicker is, the planets are not spinning rock balls. They are sonoluminescent energy at specific frequencies. Energy, frequency, vibration equals entities. There's so much more to this, it will turn your reality inside out. Unveiling the mystery of Amen, the hidden one. Let's go back in time a bit for perspective to ancient Kemet, Egypt. There is Amen, there is Amun, and there is Ra. There really is no Amen-Ra. The combination was done later to hide Amen. The hidden one. Amen is the black sun. But Ra is the sun. The black sun is a planetary entity. It is not some esoteric mythology or an antiquated pagan god, or part of the Nazi order. Some say this symbol signifies the Big Dipper. I consider that theory an intentional misdirection. It's really symbolizing the black invisible sun, celestial sphere. The fact that the symbol is presented in two directions is the big hint. The Big Dipper only spins in one direction. The vortex of the black sun spins two different directions between the north and south vortex. Like a dielectric toroid field. It is the planetary entity that fuels the sun's converter and emits etheric energy. It is responsible for all eclipses. It is said to create darkness. Darkness, dark matter, is not the absence of light. It is its own special substance. The fabric of our reality. Like pixels to a monitor. Ever notice an atom includes red, blue and green particles? We call them RGB. They are like pixels on a screen only in 3D. But it's not physical matter, it's waves. Pure sonoluminescent energy. But more on that later. For right now, focus on the octahedron within the celestial sphere. Appearing to be a mirrored pyramid at some angles, a cube, or a star at others, as it turns. Memorize this image because the pyramid is the key. Is this an image of God? Is this the source of power in the universe within heaven, where God resides? Or is it just the mechanism the Creator uses to power Earth and generate this holographic reality? Symbolized by the Eye of Providence and many other prominent symbols. It is the meaning of the Masonic G. The man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. If reality is a simulation, this mechanism powers the intricate hologram. The symbolism is staggeringly everywhere, hidden in plain sight. The power that fuels everything here. The pyramid represents the north apex in the octahedron. That represents the Father in heaven. When you say Amen after your prayers to whatever allegorical deity you subscribed your soul to, you acknowledge this deity. Regardless of what's in your heart. If there is power in the name, then deceiving one of that name could be significant. Like praying to Alexa in Siri's name. Amen is not Hebrew for so be it. Despite what we have been told, Amen is actually the Father of gods. Your Father who art in heaven. The invisible sun that powers the visible sun. It's allegorical astrotheology. Amen has a multitude of names and symbols. But it all breaks down to representing the planetary entity within the celestial sphere, black sun, that emits etheric energy and powers the visible sun. This information is never included in our preset installed reality system. So you need to toss that preset in a bag with your belief system. Then toss the bag into the goddamn ocean. For fun, imagine that you are not an accidental ape-like being riding a spinning water ball through spaceland. But that you are on the inside of a massive motionless Earth, and the stars were spinning above you in a celestial sphere, like a giant star-encrusted ball. It's a crazy theory called Cell Earth. But as crazy as that seems, it helps to consider this when trying to understand the reality of the cosmology. Because when you look at the movement of the stars and planets in time-lapse imagery, you will quickly realize both the aleo and geocentric models are inaccurate. This is the smoking gun. That one tipping point that destroys the geo and heliocentric models. And confirms the real movements of the heavens. Vincent Brady created the most amazing time-lapse images of the stars' movement that really puts the universe in perspective. I initially considered that Earth was within the celestial sphere, as it spun around us. That's what observation would lead us to believe. But when you watch the movement of the stars in time-lapse, wide angle, you'll see the big ball spinning above you. The wheel in the sky keeps turning. It's an optical illusion using refraction to make it look like it envelopes and goes around you on the edges. Meanwhile, the celestial sphere spins inside and above us. This exceptional imagery captured by Vincent Brady illustrates this movement perfectly.